Hey, what's up guys? Today we are going to be making a new series for an eating simulator / lifting simulator like the one you're seeing right now. And the reason why I'm making a series like this is because I've watched many Roblox tutorials and I've noticed that most of them aren't giving the full game tutorial. They're just doing like an okay game, but they're not the best games. So today is part 1 and we're going to be making a very awesome eating simulator / lifting simulator. Without further ado, let's get right into this. Alright, we're in Roblox Studio and let's start by going into server script service and making a script, and we can name the script player data. Okay, let's start by making a function and let's call this function set up player data. Okay, now we can pair it to the player, and then we're going to start making the leader stats part. So we'll do instance.new folder, and then what we can do after this is this script right here. But we don't have to do that. We can just put a comma next to folder out of the quotes, and then put player, and it just saves us a whole line. So let's just do that. Now we can make the leader stats name, and when you're doing the quotes and you have leader stats in it, make sure that the L is lowercase because Roblox identifies leader stats as that. So now we can do the food part of leader stats. So local food equal instance.new int value, comma, player. Or actually what we can do is leader stats. After that, we are going to do the food name. So food.name equals quotes food with a capital F. And then let's make the value. So food.value is equal to 0 because we want the player to start off with 0 food since they're just starting out. And now we can do the same exact thing that we did for food, but for coins. So if you want, you can just copy the script and paste it and then take out food and make it coins. So now we can write a script up top real quick, and then we'll write one more script at the bottom, and then we'll almost be done. So local players equals game : get service players, and that's the top part. So now we can use the function at the bottom. So players.player added connect set up player data without the parentheses, and then that's it for the first part. All right, let's go ahead and make sure everything's working. All right, so as you can see in the top right corner, everything is working. You can see the food and you can see the coins and you can see how the value is at 0. So now we're gonna make it so the food and the coins go up in value by 1 time. Let's go do that. This part is a little bit longer, so I'm gonna let you follow along. And then once we're done, we're gonna work on the GUI. All right, once we're in, you can see in the top right how the value keeps going up by 1. So that tells us that the script is working and everything is working so far. So now we're gonna make the GUI so now that the display is not only at the top right, but it's also towards the left. So let's go do that. So let's start by making a screen GUI, and let's name this currency GUI. And within that GUI, we're going to add a frame and name it currency holder. And then within that frame, we're gonna make one more frame, and we're gonna make the currency holder frame invisible. And also make the frame within the currency holder's name to food. All right, so let's drag the GUI down towards the middle part of the left. All right, let's make the GUI a bit bigger. Let's make it 225 by 100. All right, let's add a UI corner so it makes the corners rounded. And let's make it 0 by 15. I think that looks pretty good. So basically we're going off the image that you see on the top of your screen. So let's start by making the background near that color. All right, that's pretty close to the color. Let's go inside the food frame and add a text label. All right, so for the text label, let's make the background, of course, first let's make it transparent. Then let's make the text color white. You can use any font you want. I'm personally using Fredoka 1 because I think that looks very good. Don't forget though to make the text scaled so it fits the box. We can then make the actual text 0 out of 30 just to start out with. All right, the text looks good. Let's just scoot it over a bit so we can fit in the fry emoji. And let's make the text label's name to count. All right, after that, we're gonna make the logo. So basically, we're just gonna make the text label, name it to logo, and then you can make the background transparent. And then you need to get a fry emoji and put that in as the text. After you do that, resize it to however big you want and put it towards the left of the GUI. And if, again, you make the text scaled, it'll fit the box and make it much easier to move around. All right, so far I think the GUI looks awesome. Let's go back into the food frame, add another text label. This is gonna be one of the last text labels. And then we're gonna name this one to food. And basically it's gonna be the same as the 0 out of 30, background transparent, text white, whatever font you want, make the text scaled, but we're gonna make it pretty small and just above the 0 out of 30. Okay, the GUI is looking super cool, but there's one more thing that we can do to make it even better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drag the GUI slightly down from where we want it to be, okay? And then what we're gonna do is duplicate the GUI and bring it back to where we originally wanted. So then you'll have two GUIs, and then find the one that is under the main one and make the color slightly darker, which will make it look like it has a drop shadow. Okay, I'm gonna name the one that's gonna be the shadow, just shadow. You can then remove all the logos and text on the shadow one because you aren't gonna see them, so there's no point in having them. So as you can see, we made the background darker and it looks like it has a drop shadow, which looks awesome. Now we can make the plus sign, but this is gonna be a little bit different because we're gonna make the shadow first. Okay, so within food, we're going to start by making a text label because we're going to use a text button for the plus part. Let's make the size 50 by 50, and then we're going to add the text button. Fit it to also 50 by 50. And let's slightly make the text label a little bit bigger so that we can see the shadow. All right, we can then make the text button 50 by 50, and then let's start making the colors. Actually, let's make the text label first. So basically what we're gonna do, make text color 3, then we're gonna make the text a plus, and then I'm gonna use a little different font. I'm gonna use a Gotham bold, and then we can make the background a greenish limeish color like the one in the picture, and then we'll make the shadow. So before we make the text scaled and before we add the font, let's quickly add a UI corner to both the shadow and the button. All right, now we can make the font Gotham black or Gotham bold or whatever you guys want and make it scaled. All right, the food UI is done and it looks absolutely amazing. Now we can work on the coin part of it, and then that's gonna be it for part 1. So let's start by copying the shadow first and making it slightly further down than we would want, again, so it would be a shadow. Then we'll do the normal part first and put it where we want, and then we're just gonna change a few colors of the background, change a few texts, and make a money emoji. So let's start by making the part where it says food to coins. And then after that, we'll make the 0 out of 30, 1,000. And then you're gonna need to get a money bag emoji or a coin and make that the logo instead of the fry. All right, it looks good so far. Now let's make the main backdrop the color of the coin you see up top. And then we will make the drop shadow the same color, but slightly darker. All right, perfect. This looks really good. Let's go in-game and see what it looks like. All right, we're done with part 1. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and stay tuned for part 2. See you later.